Greetings, I'm Stevie C. It's great to have you on board. This is chapter 6 of our East Vineland escapades, and I'd like to welcome you to my farm if this is the first time that you've seen it. We're going to have a quick tour of it a little bit later. But what we're going to do is crack straight on with some contracts that we've got to do. If you can see in the bottom corner, we have a map which has millions of flashing numbers. They are contracts that we are going to be completing today. So we're going to be doing predominantly fertilising. So that's what we're going to do. Let's crack on with it, shall we? We get ourselves into the right vehicle. Yeah, so if you do come on, would be great to know that you're there. Just say hello in the chat, and it'd be good to see you. So we're not going to be using the AI for the fertilising contracts today because I don't know how profitable they really are. I've done quite a few already. If you look at my money, 64,000. I think when I left at the end of the stream last night, we were probably around about 25,000, I would say, roughly. So that's that field done. A nice little field to get us going. And so what we're going to do, we're going to look at the map just to see where the contracts all are, because any contracts that are close together, we can get through. Yeah, so if we did 53 and 56 together, that would hopefully get us quickly done for 3 contracts. And then maybe we can move on to 50. It's a pity 49's not on there. I might have already done that because I did some contracts and then a load more appeared, so I just basically took them all. So 53 is that little thin one, and 56 is the small square afterwards. It's always good to try and get contracts that are close together because you can speed your way through. You don't even have to wait until you've finished one field before you move on to the next. If you've got 2 fields close together, you can run all the way across both fields. It saves a lot of time and turning. So let's get on with this one. I'll show you what I mean when we get to the bottom here. But if you do pop into the chat, don't forget to say hello. If you're watching this after the event, please leave a like, subscribe, and feel free to comment. It'd be great to hear who's watched the episode and if they've enjoyed it. We'll do, I don't know, 4 or 5 contracts, and then we'll have a bit of a farm tour. Just give opportunity for a few more people to find the stream. So do you see how I know it's wasting a fraction of fertilizer there, but you can do this with any contract really. You got 2 fields close together. Just lob yourself round the 2 of them, and very quickly you will find yourself completing 2 contracts, and even fertilise the grass around in this particular case. So I might bring the extra menu up in a minute just so that we can see what level of fertiliser we're using. I've just shortened the width a bit there to stop us using too much fertiliser. We don't want to use it all in one go. We've got a long way to travel back to the farm to get ourselves some more. And usually I would make sure that I complete every contract to the point where the fields are completely done. No spots missed. But with fertiliser, I don't want to be spending the extra money. Allegedly you get it back, but I've never been 100% sure. Let me just see which way are we facing there. And we want to do an about turn to go to 50. I assume it's that field over there. It is indeed. But yeah, when we've completed a cluster of them, we'll collect the money, and all this is at the moment just saving up to buy new land for the farm that we have. We have 2 fields at the moment. Oh, yeah, let's get the menu up so I can see when I'm at full width. Should have turned it off before I did that, really. So, head ourselves over so that we're at the edge here. I have the old steering wheel out today because I knew there'd be nothing but driving, really, with all the contracts that we've taken on. I'm hoping that once we've fertilised, they'll start offering us some of the sowing contracts, which I will sort of like be utilising course play for, getting a few AI workers going. But the fertilising, I thought I'd do myself. It's probably one of the easiest jobs, and I don't think it's actually the most profitable of jobs. I've done quite a lot of contracts already, and some of them were fairly big ones. That is how we've seen ourselves gain this about 40k worth of money, which is good. You know, don't get me wrong. But if you do the amount of fields that we've done, in terms of contract-wise with baling, yes, it would have taken a lot longer, but you're talking masses of profit out of those baling contracts. Whereas it's just like the odd couple of thousand, sometimes up to 6,000 for the slightly bigger fields. And if you do a really big field, you do get the. I pressed the wrong button then. Oh, go back. That's what I wanted to press. So switch it back on, and off we go. So yeah, we're able to cut a few corners if we can. We can go one short, can we? I think that will still complete before we get to the end. But just in case, I'll head for the corner again, just so that we get as much as we can. What are we on? 9%. So unless there's a really small field knocking around, I think we'll be heading back to the yard to get a top up. So that's finished. Let's have a look, see if there's any small fields on the way back. Actually, there is quite a few fields that might do the job. I think what I might do is drive to the bottom corner. If I can work out, I'll tell you what's the easiest way. Let's get the old auto drive. Is he going to go, or is he just going to sit there? He's just going to. Oh no, he's going. He's going. I was just about to say he's not going to bother. Do get these issues with this particular map where it seems that the worker does not like to cooperate half the time. And as we just watch where he's going here, I think he's just trying to avoid crops and things like that. It almost looks like he's heading for the buildings at times. And I wouldn't put it past him to rest himself nicely against a building. So what we're going to do is, while he's driving to field 27, let's do that promised farm tour. So those of you who have seen the earlier episodes will remember that we used to have a really rickety wooden old house over there where that little patch of grass is. Then we knocked that down and we've built this farmhouse here. Beautiful brick farmhouse. I really like it anyway. We have a silo which wasn't here. In fact, all the car park, the farmyard that we're standing on was grass. We have this this is just a multi-fruit silo. Currently we have some wheat in it and some hay. The wheat is to feed the chickens, but there is going to be some alterations made to the chickens, but we're just got to make sure that we don't lose out on it. I think there's a bit of a glitch, unless, well, we'll check them in a minute, but we basically they're staying on 0% all the time, even though they have food. And when you click on them on the menu, it doesn't give you the option to show you what's going on with them. So this is my truck. It currently has a low loader attached to it because we were doing some baling yesterday. And this trailer would have been very useful for the harvest if we'd have actually had many opportunities to have the harvesting. This is where we buy our food for the animals when we have to buy it. It's effectively just an internet sale point. We ordered it in and collect it from there. So we have a couple of, well, we have a carport which currently has got our combine harvester's header undercover. I have this plough, the Lizard 9-meter plough. Doesn't fit in any of the sheds at the moment, so we're going to have to look at a shed that will fit that at some point. This is the actual combine harvester. Shall we take it in, bring it out so you can have a bit of a look at it? It does knock its funnel on the roof sometimes as it comes in and out of there. But yeah, that's the combine harvester. Does have the corn header and whatnot on it, so that's set up for any contracts that we get. Basically, this farm has been designed initially to become self-sufficient, whilst the contracts make us money. And then when we get to the stage where we own enough land, we will knock the contracts off completely and try and just build the farm using the land that we have. So effectively living off the fat of the land. So I'll just come out of there because I know for a fact the way that I park the combine I end up stuck. The honey's really building up actually, so we might have to deliver some of that today. We have a trailer which we can do so in. Trying to think if there's anything else here we need to show you. This is our newly acquired field, which we managed to plough. We didn't roll it, which might have been helpful if we'd have done it, but it's too late now, never mind. It's 100% fertilised with wheat growing in it, and hopefully we'll get a bumper harvest off that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to sprint down to the chickens, see whether this glitch has sorted itself out yet or not. We do have a load of wood to sell at some point, but I don't have anything to really lift it. I'll let you guess yourselves how it got to that. But yeah, so we've got loads of food and 0% still, so obviously the glitch is still there. I'll show you what I mean. If we go into the animal menu on here, oh, it's letting us onto the chickens now. Oh, what's going on here? This is why they're at 0%. So apparently they need a mix. I wonder if I've put a mod on which makes this a little bit more complicated, because I don't remember seeing this before. Usually you just feed them and off they go. I don't even know what base food is for chickens, but it doesn't give us the option, I don't think, when we're buying food. So yeah, I'll have to work out what mod that is and take that off. I thought there must have been a glitch with the thing, but maybe I have some form of mod that complicates things for you. Doesn't seem to be anything different with the sheep. I don't know why I always seem to go this way round to the sheep. It's twice as long as the other way. But it's just a habit. I don't even know why I got into it. Big jump. And the sheep. Allegedly there's 60 in here, but some of them obviously are hiding. They're very good at that, sheep. And there should be plenty of food and water. If we get near to there, it will tell us. Yeah, loads of that. That helps 100%. That's exactly what we want. I have no idea what that extra additional food thing is for the chickens. I thought I'd found what it was and deleted that, but I did have trouble with it on another save that I was doing. But I seem to have got rid of it, and then there it is. It's reared its ugly head again. So that's that. I don't think there's anything else other than the field, the other side of the sheep, which is also our land. This was actually a decent sized field, just with a bit cut away at the far end where some buildings are. But we've got it as grass. This is ready to harvest. We don't actually own any mowing equipment at the moment, so that will probably be what we spend our money on. And in fact, while we're here, we'll jump on and try. Let's just hope that we've got enough fertilizer in to do this last field before we have to refill again and continue with our contracts. So we'll move it to third person view so we can see what's happening. Put that menu back on so we can see the width of our spray. And that's definitely don't need it that wide. So this is as easy a field as you can get. It's just going to be one trip down. The only question is, how much fertilizer will it use? I'm sure we'll still have plenty left when this is done. Technically, I would have moved straight on to the field next door to it, which is field 25. But we're not going to have a fertilizer for that, so I don't think. We might do one trip across it if there's any left. No point driving over it when we could be dropping some fertilizer. We're down to 2%. We might get one of those annoying moments where we run out of fertilizer before we complete the field. 40 litres left. Will we do it? 20 litres left. Time is running out. 10 litres left. Come on, complete. Oh, look at that. Okay, so we'll head back. Fortunately, the reason we came today was because it wasn't too far a drive to fill up. But it does mean when we finish that, we can just scoot straight onto the field next door and get that one done as well. Do that so we can see where we're going. It is good to see all these fields being used because, you know, we're exactly a year into this map now, and most of the fields have laid dormant for that entire year. That's why there was no harvest. I used to start in spring mod, and I think that might have been a mistake. I think we might have been progressing the fields a little bit quicker over the course of the first year had we started in the normal August time. So we need to open that up and fill away. It does cost a fortune for this to be done. Hey up, buddy, you okay? Hope you're doing well. Ever faithful, you're here again to save me from talking to myself like the crazy Englishman I am. I really must sort out these. I just noticed it started raining. I don't remember seeing that in the forecast. Well, we'll carry on because it's not my farm. So it still completes a contract for me, that's the main thing. But somebody's going to get the fertiliser they put on if I can get this damn tractor going in a straight line. If Chris was on, he'd be telling me it's because it's the John Deere. He seems to recognise the John Deere as a really unstable tractor that is hard to get going. And maybe that little bit of a wobble then proved his point perfectly. So I was gonna drive down the side, but what we'll do is we'll pick up the original tram lines roughly, because we know that it's set roughly right for that, and we'll finish this this field. So if you're watching this after the event, I hope you're really enjoying the series and enjoying the progress of the farm. It is pretty slow and hardly likely to increase while we do these contracts, just because you know, it is a marathon, not a sprint. This, and I do want to keep it in many ways as realistic as possible from a business building sense. So we want to build up this business nice, slowly, have a good sure footing on it, make the farm look really good. We are going to be concentrating on land purchase initially, but there is a few things that I want to start looking at. Press the right button. There we go. Switch it on and off we go. A little bit to the right to make sure we're getting all of this field. Yeah, I want to be able to build up some residual income that just comes in every month through greenhouses, solar panels, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, we have about 200,000 in debt to pay off as well. I think that will come with a decent baling contract. We'll just do like a load of contracts for baling, which will see for the debt itself all on its own, and we'll become debt free through doing a baling contract. Whether I do that on live stream just depends on what I'm doing on the day when I do it, because I've done an awful lot of baling already on this, and I mean, I don't mind the baling. It's a good way of making money. We wouldn't have been able to buy the fields that we've bought or do the improvements that we have to the farmyard, because it really was a rickety old one-story wooden house that we had before. Now we've got a beautiful little cottage, which I think's great. If we can get some greenhouse areas and stuff like that, I think you can find us owning a really sweet little farm in East Vineland, New Jersey. So get it going straight. Let's reduce that a touch, and this will be 25 done. We'll complete the fields that are completed already, so that it doesn't look like we're losing so much money with the fertilizer. We'll see how far away the next. Well, in fact, I can see the next one. It's flashing over there, 22. I think I might do 22 before I complete. That's that complete. So let's get over to 22. It's not the field that we're cutting the corner of now, but the next one along. Set the width of the sprayer back to maximum again, and position ourselves for the off, and off we go. I do like fertilizer. I think this has got to be one of my favourite jobs, especially when you're on a field like this which has got nothing on it, because you can see exactly where you fertilised. Makes it for a real quick job. But I think if we have a target today, I think the target will be to buy. There's a plot of grassland that I want to buy. We're not a million miles away of being able to afford it, but on top of that, I want to buy the mowing equipment to do that field, and it would probably be the mowing equipment comes first. But it just depends how fruitful all these contracts turn out to be, because if they pay us a couple of 100,000, I think we might be able to get some equipment. I don't think initially it'll be the biggest equipment. It won't be enough that we can do baling contracts without borrowing the other farms' equipment. I think that's still going to be necessary. But we're going to either get a fermenting silo to make to make silage, but more likely I'm going to go for the bales just because we get to utilise our pickup wagon with low loader that will collect all the bales, and we'll be able to stack them somewhere under cover maybe. Perhaps we'll get a bale shed or something in one of the fields. That's done. I can't leave myself to leave a massive gap as much as I would like to. Switch that off. 21 is flashing. That's that one. If I'd have seen that before, we'd have been going straight across here. But never mind, not to worry. How is that reach? If I put myself plumb in the middle, will that reach in one strip? I don't think it quite will. Might be enough to complete it. So actually, yeah, I think I'd get away with that. That corner that I've missed, just about got the reach of this one in one pass, so that's not too bad. So there we go, that is 21 done. Now let's just have a look where the next lot of contracts are. In fact, actually, we'll complete the ones we've done so that they stop flashing and don't confuse us. So, collect, 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 collect. Now I think we're going to get a shed load of sowing contracts immediately after this. Still got quite a lot to do in terms of the fertilising, but that was quite a good chunk that we've just knocked off already. So as you can see, they do quite quickly go through. There are a couple of slightly bigger fields, 13 acres there, 9 acres there, another 9 acres. Is that the same one? Sorry, yeah, nearly 9 acres. And another couple around the 9 acre mark. So that seems to be pretty much the standard field size. Anything probably above 10 starts to be classed as a bigger field on this map. I didn't look where we were going, that was the reason we went on there in the first place. It's just what we're looking at here. Well, we've zoomed in there. Out you go. We could do 34, 35 maybe. Although with them being so close to that, I think I'd be tempted to do all of them together now as a block. So I think we go and fill back up and do those fields that are all clustered together right near the farm. Let me get my bearings. I think I could see across the fields there my farm. This is the actual shop to our left. I don't know if you've seen that before, but we tend to get our stuff home delivered, so don't often have a reason to go there. It's not too bad when you're just round the corner for delivery. Well, it's a beautiful day for fertilising, isn't it? Thunderstorms going on. Get the thing open as we prepare to come in. I don't think they'd be doing this in real life in the rain, because opening up that would be getting the solid fertiliser soaked. Come on, you know you want to let me fill it. Come on, why are you not letting me? Some reason, some random control had showed up, which wasn't of my normal controls. I must have knocked something maybe. So that's full. We'll cover that up, keep the rain out, and we'll move across to 34. See, I've been a good boy today and kept largely off the fields. I think by the time we've completed these fertilising jobs today, I think I'll have basically done the whole map. So it would almost have been like me owning the whole map. There's been so many fields, it's been unreal. I've been moaning for the last couple of game months that there's been no contracts whatsoever. Well, it's certainly come back with a vengeance. So at the moment, we don't need that. Now, this next field, you would look at it and think that turning right when I get onto that field would give me the best coverage of that field, but I think that we're doing the field straight ahead again. So we'll just keep on going that way. Try and get it as close to that edge as possible so we're not wasting too much fertiliser. I'll keep edging it out that way. Yeah, it's a pretty chilled job fertilising. It's not too bad. I mean, I think, you know, there can be a little bit too much of a good thing, and doing nearly every field on a map of over 100 fields is probably too much of a good thing. So there's a little cut in here which we need to make sure that we get. So if you're watching this after the event, I'd be interested to know what you're playing on your particular games at the moment. Is it Farming Simulator? Is it 22? What map you on? What are your ultimate goals in the game that you're playing? Or are you just chilling and watching somebody else play the game? It'd be great to have a little bit of interaction with you. Love to hear from you. Right. So we will just keep going all the way across here. And we're now down to 2 fields because obviously that first little field was just there to for the first run. We basically covered it all in one run, which is good. So we're still not quite connecting up with where we've already done, so I'll just try and edge over that way. It's probably a little bit too late, but I think that's where the cut-in was on the field, so that might have called us out a bit. I mean, I don't know how the game sounds come through on that on the live stream, but I've got thunder rumbling away in my ears. Tell you what, it seems to be. No matter how much I turn to the right, the field just stays straight out of reach. Combined together, these 2 fields are pretty big, but I think one more run will do the bottom field, which... Oh, we're doing 35 as well. That changes things a little. I'll switch that off, because we don't need to fertilise this grass. And we'll head to the bottom of 35 to start our run. Try not to crash into a tree. Are we going to work? We'll go onto the road and round. And beat. Yeah, I didn't realise we were doing this field, so we do get to go across 3 fields. I probably saw it when I was looking at the big map, but I'd forgotten about it by the time we got here. So, but that's just a bit of a bonus in terms of we can go straight across 3 fields here in a big long strip. We could find ourselves at the end chasing these little bits that I've missed just to finish the percentage. But I reckon with the rain, the farmers won't know that I've missed a load. It is lobbing it down. Raining cats and dogs. So this is Friday, and I've completed a full week of streaming. Just tested it out. I started on Sunday. That was my first ever stream. It has been slow starting off. I do acknowledge that, but you've got to expect these things when you're new to something. And you know, I've enjoyed doing what I'm doing, and I appreciate those of you that have been watching my videos after the event. Seeing the number of views afterwards does cheer me up a little bit. So I just know that even if at any one time I'm sailing away at this on my own, then yeah, it just makes me feel like it's worthwhile doing. But even if nobody watched it, to be honest, I have a good time playing, and I'm chatting away to people who not necessarily seeing me on the day that I play the game, but yeah, it's good. It's good. I've enjoyed it. It's something new that I've found a little time to do. I don't think I'll have the time to stream every night forever in a day, but at the moment I'm not at work, so it doesn't really impede too much on me. I wait for the wife to go to bed and flick on the game and go live. Quite often I'm building little bits of the game beforehand as well, so that obviously, like, I'd done a few contracts before, and just get ourselves back on the widest for these two fields. So that's field 42 complete now, so we don't have to worry about that one anymore. If we were to run out of fertiliser, it's not too bad because we are literally round the corner from home. We can go and pick up some more. Look at this, I'm whacking it as far right as I dare, and it's just not connecting the trails up. It's like the trails run away from you. Here we go again. It must be going across it at a funny angle or something. But it does mean that we're probably going to end up having to fill some of these gaps. Once again, I think I'll have to overlap it quite substantially just to try and stop some of that. Because it is going to end up, we're going to be wasting time going over little bits of fields that we've missed. Well, there must be a real angle on it, because it feels to me like I'm going straight over time, and then the gap appears again, as it already has done now. So we'll whack it round. Head out that way, whack it round again. I'll do that for now. Straighten it up a little bit. See whether it runs away again. We must be getting close to this field completed as well. Once these two fields are complete, which we've done it in a matter of minutes, haven't we? So it's not like it's been any hardship in terms of work. But yeah, we've flown through, absolutely flown through. 70% complete on this one. Whack it down to its smallest setting as we do this bit, just so we're not wasting too much fertiliser. Turn that off now and spin it around. Line the cells up roughly. Let's just get that to the maximum again. Be great if you could customise what you can see with them options at the top right, because there's some of them I'd just get rid of. You know, you don't need to know certain things. Open the covers. It's handy to know when you don't know it, but when you've sort of like been playing the game and you know most of those controls, really you just need the information of the. Oh, press the right button. You just need the information of how what width length you're at. You can visibly see it as well, I suppose, because it does go from the smallest to the biggest, but you don't have to keep going all the way through to get back to the smallest again. If you've gone one too far, and all the time you're faffing around, you're losing fertilizer. So this is 80%. I think there's no question we're going to be chasing a little bit of the gaps that we've left on this. I think that will be about right for what's left. Will we get it all in? That's the question. No, we want to go a little bit wider. Just in the hope that this field completes before we get to the end. Watching it, yes. So we haven't got to chase any spots on that one. That is good. We can probably go one less with the fertilizer there. So 36, will it complete? This one does have pretty hefty bits of field mist, so it wouldn't surprise me if it was like 98%, something like that, when we get to the end here. And it has finished. That's good. We haven't got to go and do the rest. So let's. I don't know why that keeps zooming in like that. But let's go and complete those contracts, and then we can decide on filling up, which we probably will have to do. The number of fields is getting less and less quite quickly, so we're doing okay with these contracts. I mean, we're 45 minutes in, we've had a tour, we've completed an awful lot of fertilising contracts so far, and as it happens, it looks like a shed load more have appeared as well, which would have been useful to know. Let's see where we're up to with money. So we've got 90,000. We're going to have to go and fill up, and then we will probably look to fertilise. Oh, we've got a good cluster here that we can do. As we'll do them as one big field, I think, and then maybe 95 and 74. It just depends how much fertilizer we've got as to which ones we do out of 95, 74 or 99, 91. We'll have a look at what fertilizer we've got, and then we'll make a decision. But the first ones we'll do is that little cluster there, because we could do them all in one go. But let's get back to the yard. Top up. Try and get my bearings. Got a bad feeling I'm going the wrong way. I can't see home. I'm lost. So I'll get my bearings in a minute. I think we need to go this way. Yeah, I think I can see it in the distance there. Took me a while just to get my head around where I was compared to home, but we've done it. So I think our farm is effectively as far south as you can get on the map. It was, of course, until recently, not even a farm. I'm just looking at the things and still not 100% sure on where we are. I think, was that the shop to our right? No. So I'm not where I thought I was. Ah, there's a shop there. So we've technically driven the wrong way. But we've not gone a million miles out of the way. We've just done a circle around the shop. Tell you what, when I bought my truck and it was delivered to the shop, it was good fun getting it out of there because of the way that they parked it. That was quite a challenge. I can see the wooden silo just in the top left corner of the screen. I would be so intrigued to find out what that mod is that is making my chickens unhappy. I don't remember adding any new mods, so I don't really know, unless there's been an update on Giant and we're supposed to mix the foods up. I find it a little bit silly because I know for a fact that if you just fed chickens corn or wheat or whatever in real life, they would still lay eggs for you. Really, any sort of like mixed food is to really just improve the amount of calcium and stuff in the chicken to help it to produce eggs. So it's a little bit frustrating, whatever that is, but I'm sure we can get it sorted for the next time. What I'll do, just because I'm useless at finding my way around the map, I will let the autopilot take us there. And while he's doing that, I'll just show you the farmland that I'm hoping to purchase. Yeah, we could technically buy it now, actually. I think I might even do that, you know. It's not a field as such. It was 196. It's just a square of land that's less than 75,000, which we can afford at the moment. But it will mean that we need to buy the mower and that, which means we may have to even consider doing a few more contracts. Although I think the fertilising side of it is getting a little bit, I wouldn't say boring now, because we've just got an awful lot of fields still to do, and there's an awful lot reappeared. I will do them off screen, of course, if I don't do them on the stream. But yeah, I think, what's our balance? It will leave us 9k, which is another full thing of fertiliser. We will have cashed in at least 3 or 4 more contracts by then. So yeah, let's do it. The land is ours, and it won't be too long before we're able to save up for 33, and then we've basically got the whole of our row. And then I think our expansion will have to start looking at going out this way, buying the fields around 34, 35. I mean, 34 can't be too expensive, is it? 175. Wow, that must have a house on it or something. Yeah, there's some expensive stuff there. In fact, actually, that field is at 200k. Sorry, that's not the field I wanted to look at. How is that field there? What's that? 3.75. Oh, yeah, I suppose it's about right, actually. It's probably a bit longer. So, but they're the fields that I'm looking at, and maybe 31 as well. You know, that's a good sized field. But that's going to be one massive baling project all on its own to buy that field. But we are getting to the stage when we've got that field that self-sufficiency isn't far away, because it's another big field which I will probably keep as grass, which it currently is. And yeah, so we could just drive this like it's a square. Let's get that back on. I had a feeling I wasn't on the maximum width, so we missed a little bit in the corner. But we'll not worry too much about that. So if you do pop in, leave a little greeting or something in the chat. It'd be good to hear from you on this Friday night, Friday afternoon, what it may be for you. I don't know. For me, it is. I haven't got a clue what time it is. It's late. Let me have a look. What time is it? It's literally coming up to midnight. It's nearly Saturday. We're nearly at the weekend. I think we're... Well, I get to have a party. Some of you have to wait a few hours. If you're in America, between 5 and 8 hours. I believe it's 10 hours in Canada. If you're in Australia, Saturday's already old news to you. So what I'll just do for the sake of the misshapen bit of this field is finish it off. So that field will be done. And position ourselves right to go straight across there. So 97 is complete. It looks bad when we're back down to 10k, but I'm quite happy. We've got 2 fields that are ready for mowing and baling. So I will have to raise up probably about 100 to 150,000 in contracts just to buy the equipment to do those fields. We'll get the silage going for them, and in a few months we will... I probably should have done this turn quite a bit sooner. Wasted a bit of fertiliser there. Yeah, once we get the silage production coming through, so every 3 months we get a bumper harvest. We could even be saving it up till the winter when it's at its best price, which, you know, would, if the contracts keep coming, that might be viable, so that we get the best of both worlds. We get the money from the contracts and the best price. And I could even do that with leftover bales from the contracts as well. And, you know, if I'm making enough money just to keep ticking over, then that could be something that we look to do. And then sort of by January in the game, we could be sitting on enough money to buy several fields and start the whole process again. So I've really enjoyed the variety of the last couple of episodes in terms of jobs, because the first 3-4 episodes, I think 3 out of the 4 we were baling basically. We did get to build the actual farmyard and stuff, so that was quite fun. But yeah, so we've had a little bit of variety. We've done a little bit of cultivating, planted our own fields with wheat and grass respectively. So just switch that off so we're not wasting fertiliser a minute while I get this down. If I press the right buttons. When it's a combination button, I do quite often get the wrong ones, so we'll not worry too much about the little bit that we're missing there, because I think we're practically going to be done with this field before we even get to the end. Might need to extend the reach of this in a minute, although I think if I stick to keeping it left here, I think it will complete the fields anyway. I didn't see if that field completed, which means we might have to go and double check we haven't missed any on it. I think when we've done this bit, I will go for a quick comfort break, but we'll finish this field first. So whack that round there. Get this corner done, 97%. That one's complete, switch that off. And let's just have a quick look at what were the numbers. So it's 97, 96 and 98. And what we want to do is see which ones are complete. and they did all complete. I just obviously missed it in the top corner. And so what I will do is just get this guy going to, what have we got left? 65%. That will do. Yeah, I think it will just about do 74 and 95. So if I start at 74 and work that way, then when we get to there, come all the way along, and we'll be finishing there hopefully with a little bit of fertiliser left in. If it's just enough, we might get that little field done as well, but I think we're going to be pushed to finish those two, but that's what we'll try and do. I'll set the worker to head to our starting point, and then I shall head off for a little break. Back in a minute. Switch my mic on, you'll hear me better. We are back and in position. So just reminding myself where we're at and what we're doing. So yeah, we're going to do 74, and then when we get level with 95, come across and do the bow. Let's get on with it. We're on the maximum width. We are just about in the right position. That looks pretty good, actually. The money looks a bit better now we cashed in those other 3 fields. When you're having to buy fertiliser as well, you've got to make sure you leave enough money for at least a full tank of fert. If you've got bigger fields, you probably need enough for a couple of tanks of fert before you worry about you know, if you go all the way down to 0 with what you're buying, you then can't afford the fertiliser, and that's where you tend to end up very often struggling to you maybe have to borrow money or something just to finish your contracts, never mind run your own farm. I just very cleverly made myself a drink and then left it the other side of the room, so that will be staying there for a while. So we'll just flick that off there and run to the end of the field. So we're going to bring this first one in a touch on this field, so that when we get to 74 we can extend the width and get ourselves better positioned for the slight cutaway that field has compared to this one. So I'm hoping that I've worked that out right. It does look pretty straight actually now, looking at it from here, but we'll do it anyway just to make sure. Actually, I think it's alright. I think this bit is going out a little bit, so we'll do that. Probably should have done it as we went across really, but never mind. So don't forget, if you're watching this after the event, or even if you're watching it now, I do have a few videos on my YouTube account which is worth watching. I'm a new YouTuber, so there's not a massive amount of content out there yet, but there are a couple of series that are going to be worth following as a complete. I aim to get at least one a week out, although the latest of my roleplay series has been delayed a little bit just due to time constraints in the day. Mainly one of them linked to the 4th episode of this particular live stream, which the audio got corrupted, so the day that I would have been prepared to sort out the roleplay series ended up being spent creating a highlights package of what was at the time the most significant event in the whole of this live stream series, because we built the farm, and unfortunately with the audio corrupt it wasn't worth keeping on YouTube as a live stream, so I got rid of it and did a highlights package which was basically me voicing over the work that we did on that particular live stream. It did cut it down, it's only about 40 minutes long that, but it was the building of the farmyard that I took you on a tour slightly earlier. I will go round again just one last time towards the end of the live stream if we have time, but if we're snowed under with all these contracts, I think we'll keep doing them just because we need to build up that money. We need the baling equipment, and I want a decent one. If I can't afford the wrapper, I don't know what to do. I may even have to lease a wrapper. If I don't get a bale wrapper itself, like the ones that do the baling and the wrapping, you know what I mean. Then I would like to get one of the bigger square balers that drop them out pretty fast, but I think they're going to be a bit overkill. I think is it the Vicon? I can't remember what it was called, the Vicon fast bale. I think that will be the one that we want to go for in the short term, because I think that's a good bale to have, and if you get it right with the course play, you can actually get a worker to do it as well. Because it is a little bit of a challenge doing the baling and wrapping, where, especially if it's, I think the Vicon fast baler is pretty good because I don't think you have to stop with that, whereas some of the other ones, every time you drop in a bale or every time you drop in a wrapper, wrapping a bale, you have to wait for it, and it can become a very lengthy process then. I'm trying to get around that lamppost. And to there, we need to reduce the amount of fertiliser we're chucking out. Can go down one more. So this field will now be complete any second. If it hasn't already done so, there we go. That's done. We'll do a little bit of due diligence and head towards the corner. So that'll do. And now it's just this little bit of this field, 20%. We're not going to be able to do 91, that's for sure. I know it's only a little field, but I think we're going to be well short for that one. So, what do we reckon about there? Get the thing on its maximum. Off we go. That's pretty close. I'm happy with that. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. Let me know that you're out there. Be good to hear from you. I know it's Friday night, probably competing with some pretty big sporting events and a lot of big streamers out there. But I do appreciate those who drop by and either watch the video after the event or pop in and say hello during the course of the event. Wow, this rain. This would be upsetting if I was actually farming my own land. But I'm rather it rain while I'm doing somebody else's work. I could be going a little bit less fertilizer out there. Can I drop it down one more? This must be extremely close to being finished now. And there we go, that's finished. So let's just try and get a bearings of where we are. So we want to go across the field we're at and straight down till we hit the road and take a right. So back on ourselves. We could go via the road system, but we can run down the side of the fields. We don't have to cheat and go across the fields. But it's a whole different road system for farmers. They can utilise these little cuts across the fields. I imagine sitting in a cab. Let's have a look. It's probably quite bumpy. Well, it doesn't appear to be so far. This John Deere is absolutely gliding across, isn't it? So we've got to come through this hedge. Oh, onto a field. I didn't know there was a field there, honest. Have we got spun around now? Trying to find a path amongst the roads. So as not to go on the fields. I think we must be getting close to the road now. We're seeing some buildings. I think I've ended up at the flipping road again anyway. So where do we need to go from here? So it's left onto that road and right at the next junction. I haven't had it on recently, but let's bring a little bit of the realism back and put the traffic on. Give us a little bit of extra things to think about. As we pull out on this road, I'll now have to think about driving on the right side of the road, which of course is the wrong side of the road. Yeah, it is better when the traffic's on. It's just when my lorry's going around the place, it does get a little bit impossible. So I'm on the right side of the road, so I need to be there. The one thing that I don't get with this game is the AI drivers. Probably better than me, admittedly. But they don't stop at giveaways. You know, even in real life, and there's nothing coming. Usually, a driver would slow right down, if nothing else. But I got wiped out on with a tractor taking some bales to the farm shop one day. I got absolutely wiped out by a car that came to a giveaway junction and just kept going. I was doing probably 60 mile an hour, whatever it was, and certainly top speed. I can't remember what vehicle I was in, and it really properly took me out. So we need to open that and fill up. See, it's a good job we kept that money so that we could continue with the fertilising work. Let's just have a quick look at where we're going to go to next, because we don't necessarily have to continue in the area that we were. We can look for another cluster of contracts. Actually, they're all reasonably spread out now, aren't they? So let's have a look at some of the ones that have turned up since. So let's complete them, collect the money from them, and these are all fertilising jobs, aren't they? So yeah, so we'll just do them all. It doesn't take very long. By the end of these contracts, we'll be laughing. And what I might do with that one is borrow the items, which didn't work. This is a glitch that I've been getting with some of these things, is that, just double check it hasn't gone back to the shop. No. You saw me click that borrow the items and the contract disappeared. So anyway, we'll get on with these fertilising. I was going to just get the sowing contracts done by a worker while we did the fertilising. I mean, at the end of the day, we're doing the bulk of the work, so I wouldn't have felt too bad about that. Now we need to check the flashes and see whether there's a cluster of contracts that we can do. Yeah, 9. I think if we go back to the 100, look at that. Why couldn't these have all been there before? Oh, that's a good one. Straight ahead. Yeah, we'll do 29, 37, and 38. That's the plan. Must remember that the traffic is on when I come out of here. So there's no car coming that way. Nothing coming that way. Right side of the road. And angle left, right in the middle of this field. Don't think we're quite going to do it, are we? So we need to position ourselves more over here, I think. We've got the full width of the... I think that random controls come up again. I don't know what it is, but it's actually quite helpful when it was on. It must be something to do with that. Oh, all my fertilisers getting wet. So it very nearly reaches all the way across this field, which is a bit annoying. But on the next pass, we'll be able to cut right down. If it doesn't complete it already, if it completes it, there's no point coming down and doing that little strip. We're just coming off the boil a little bit, so I have to say I do quite enjoy the fertilising It is a you know, when there's this much of it, it's a big job. But yeah, we can just keep going and going and going on this one. 3 fields, 2 of them pretty big, 1 of them small. On the next pass, that bottom field, number 29, will be done. And the money in the account is beginning to creep back up again. It is so annoying how it comes away from the headland. Fields mustn't be quite as straight as it looks like. So I'm pretty sure we'll have enough fertiliser to do these 3 fields. Whether we can squeeze another field out of the load, we'll have to wait and see. But while we're close to the farm, it's no hardship just to go and top it up. Start with a full load on the next cluster of fields that we do. So yeah, this is a little bit like one of the hack of the day series that I've done with regards to contracts. If you pick several contracts together of exactly the same job and they're right next to each other, then you can do both fields as one big field, whether it's ploughing, baling, it doesn't matter what it is. But you can just keep going straight across multiple fields and get the job done faster, rather than, you know, doing one field with all its turns at the end. You probably limit. I mean, with us doing 3 fields here, we're probably cutting down quite substantially the amount of turnarounds we would have had to do if we'd have done each field individually. And that's why it's really good to utilise these contracts when you're looking to build up your own farm, because it's a realistic way of doing it. You've only got to look at the program Clarkson's Farm, which you see on Amazon Prime. You know, Caleb is Jeremy Clarkson's farmhand, but he has a dream to run his own farm one day, and it will happen for him probably reasonably quickly now that he's on the telly and got a bit of fame. But you know, his hope is to own his own farm one day. But he is working as a farmhand and a contractor to Jeremy Clarkson and other people, I would imagine. I'm sure it's not just Jeremy he does the work for. Right, so the reason I've switched that off now is because I want to just get onto here and get it on the smallest setting, because we don't want to be wasting too much fertiliser. So let's bring that down to the smallest setting and off we go again. But yeah, so it is a realistic way to be raising money to pay for our own farm. And, you know, we're just trying to utilise a little bit of business sense by getting fields that are all together and cracking on through them. There may be different owners, and we may be benefiting from doing multiple jobs. But yeah, it's something that's come into the game in 22. I don't remember it being there for 19. I didn't really play 19 too much. I played 17 quite a bit, but not 19. But 22, I must have amassed already over 500 hours. I did get onto it a little bit late, it has to be said, but I've gone from working a lot of hours to working no hours, so I've had a bit of time on my hands. And Farming Simulator has very definitely begun to fill that time, as some of you guys know how it gets. It's something that's kept me busy, so we can only be thankful for that. And it's given me a little bit of a passion to produce YouTube stuff. So not only will I be doing Farming Simulator, but eventually I will look to do a Football Manager series on my YouTube channel, and when the new pro cycling game comes out, we may even get a series or two of that out as well, because I don't mind playing pro cycling, but I'd be interested to know from anybody who's watching this, either now or after the event, what games you play that are not Farming Simulator. Be interesting to hear what variety there is in it. It's good to be able to build up the amount of content that I put out on YouTube with these live streams, because not only is it useful for that, but it's going to be useful for my Hack of the Day series to already have the gameplay done, because sometimes you can do several hours of gameplay just to show a very short 5-minute video of something that you can do to easily make money, or to make your job a little bit easier on a particular area of Farming Simulator. So again, we want to reduce that right down. I think this field will complete in a minute, and then it's just the extra from the next field. We may get another field out as well as these. I think this field is technically already complete. I'm sure I saw it in the top corner, but I was dozing a little bit. It is, of course, at the time of recording this, getting quite late for me. Gone past midnight now. Just get the width of the thing back up, and off we go again. Not totally sure of my position on the field, so I could come out a little bit. I'll just, for how far we've got to go, I'll just keep it at that for now. It means we can turn in a second anyway. So yeah, I think the second year on this particular map is going to be a little bit better than the first year, especially with the harvest side of things. It does seem to be that in the first 6 months or so of the thing, the farmers didn't seem to do anything to the fields, so I had very little to do. Most of the fields on the map have been in this state since the very start, but now that has changed. So it's a shame. I think we actually have already done 39 in a previous clutch of jobs. Would have been handy for this to be able to have lumped it in with these, but not all of the jobs were available at the time. They seem to have reappeared at the change of an hour. I think the hour's got over again, actually, since we took for all those other contracts. More may have appeared again. So 34%. So we're going to have 30% left by the time we've finished the field. I think we'll get another field out of this. So we'll have to have a look on the map, see where that is going to be. Any second now, hopefully. Yep, there we go. There's the completed field. Whack it round in a circle, switch off the fert, and we'll collect from those jobs. And where are we? Oh, sorry, we're over this way, aren't we? So we'll go and do 26 on the way back to home and fill up again. Let's do 26 before we collect the jobs. We do have a road there. Need to remember that there could be cars. Let's go back to the realistic view. Get rid of that so we can see. So it is literally straight down this road. Try and line myself up so I don't kill the car. Of course, we've done all the fields around this one. This is another one that could have been done in another cluster. We should call this Cluster Buster or something, this strategy. I remember there being a firework that was something, I think that was called Cluster Buster. And it used to send up masses of fireworks all together in a cluster, as you'd expect. Right, we're at full width, which is where we want to be. And it's just this one field, I must remember that and not go straight across. This won't take very long. We probably could have got another field out of it as well. But we won't worry about that. We've got to pass wherever we're going now, we've got to pass home, so we might as well top up. So we've been doing about an hour and a half so far. Things are going very well. I've lost count of how many fields we've actually done on stream. And, you know, I bet we're talking a good 25 fields that we've completed the contract on, including the ones that I've done off stream. So it might not look like I've got a lot of money, but if you're joining this a little bit late, we have bought a field, so that would explain for that. We'd probably be on about 100,000 now if we hadn't bought that field. So yeah, we've probably done well. We've probably earned about 75,000 in profit from the fields we've done. But some of them are really small fields, so we'll just cut across my own field at the bottom here, past the sheeps. There they are. Still not had any more wool from them. Just want to bring that in a touch. We're a little bit far away really, aren't we? So get that open, because I know for a fact it won't let you fill up if that's not there. Grab a quick drink while that was filling up. I've just noticed, shows how observant I am, the rain stopped. I think I do remember looking at the forecast last episode and it was giving out rain. Ooh, I forget that with the controller. That, do you know what, I've just driven out and not even looked at where we're going. So let's just pull over off the road for a second, because we can. And let's collect so that they're not going to confuse us. The 4 that we've already done. So collect. No, it didn't want to come off there yet. I wanted to check where we were going. So I reckon we do 107, because we're facing that way. 199. So let me control, and then we'll see if we can squeeze those 2 in as well. Or do we start at the far end and work our way back? I think that's an idea, because we're definitely not gonna have any left from there. So I think that's what we'll do. We'll drive to the top corner of 91 and work our way back down. If we get these 4 done that's good. And if there's any left to do the 5th one as well, that's absolutely fantastic. Because then we're going to be looking at the very far end of the map. We've got a good cluster up there that we can do. That one's a little bit on its own, as is that one. So they'll probably end up being the last ones that we do. But yeah, so we'll get back into the cab and get ourselves on our way to do that next cluster of fields. We've got the expert driving now, obviously. Oh, that was a bump. It is so flat, this land. I mean, I've never been to America, but it'd be interesting to know if this is really what it's like. I'm sure they must have a lot of very hilly places as well to sort of even it out. But you know, a lot of flat land for the farmland must look incredible. The straight roads. And you probably get nicer weather than we get as well. Certainly, I've seen on the news over the course of the last few months that you've had a decent amount of snow in certain areas of America, but yeah, this traffic is making it a little bit more of a challenge for the AI driver. He seems to have coped so far. While we just chill and have a bit of a break, get chauffeur driven to the job. I have done all the work myself so far, so that's a little feather in my cap. So it'd be interesting to see in the course of the second year, and classing this as the second year of the game. We started in March, so we've done a year exactly now. But this is the second year, so when we get to January, that's the third year, and it'd be interesting to see by then where we're at with the farm. I think my vision of where the farm will be by January is that it will have a bumper harvest from silage, mainly from baling jobs, but we have got our own fields which we will be collecting the bales from. But yeah, I think that the contract work will provide us with a load of silage, which we sort of December, January will be the peak time for the price, so we will cash in then, and that will be the time when we've bought the fields, or if we manage to buy the fields before, it'll buy us the equipment to do some new stuff with those fields. I'd like to have a go at cotton baling. I've never done that before. Certainly we've got a lot of different crops that we can be growing as well. So right, we're in position. Let's get that up and just remind myself of what we intend to do. So it's both of these fields going that way. It's a perfect square, so I don't think it matters too much which direction we did it in. Although if we did it that way, I suppose that would negate a row. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So because it's a perfect square, we don't have to, for the sake of it, go across the fields. Nothing to see here. I'm just expertly turning it around. Didn't make a hash of that at all. So we must be coming to the end of the field now. Should have zoomed out a bit. There we go. Just have a quick look. We're set on the widest setting. Off we go. And obviously the object of this, that was why we had it zoomed out before, so we could see the full effect of our spray. I know it's a long way away, but just gives me an idea of it if I'm sneaking away from the headland a bit. Yeah, I think when we've got through all of these contracts, we'll be in quite a good position to get some baling equipment, and then we've got 2 fields. I mean, all of this I aim to do in today, which is effectively a month, March. It won't all be done on stream because the baling obviously is quite a time-consuming project. So certainly won't be getting to that stage now. But I also want to be able to take up some contracts while we're doing our own work, where I can get a helper, a contractor to go and do those jobs for me. Because I think that when we go through the day, I think all these fields that I'm fertilising, I think they're going to be asking us to plant in them as well. And I think I'm going to need some workers for that, because I don't think anybody would have the willpower to plant every single field on this map. There's hundreds of them. But the possibilities for the harvester there, I do want to make sure that the planting does get done on these fields, because it'd be sad to have all the combine harvester equipment that I've got and not be able to use it for the contracts over the coming months of the series. You know, this is all the prep work that farmers have to do now. Obviously they're contracting me to do it, and like a mug I'm doing it when I could be cutting the grass in my own farm, but you know, you got to get the money to do it from somewhere. I think what I did consider as a sort of like financial thing is that little field that I bought, which will be making silage. I was thinking I could make the silage from that, stock it all up, and every time I cash in those silage bales, let's say the first time we did it, it made, I don't know, 20, 25, maybe 50 grand. Instead of keeping that 50 grand, I could just use that to pay my debts. I reckon that within a year, that little tiny plot of land will have paid off my debt of 200,000. I may be wrong, I don't know. I don't know exactly how many bales that square will take. It's not a massive field. So I was going to go straight across then, but I've worked out that that's not actually the field that I need to fertilise. So it's a good job that I didn't. I didn't see whether that field completed or not. There were little bits that we missed, but I think it did. You can see for miles in front of us. That's what I love about this game. I mean, I know it's not real scenery, but the effort that people have put in to the maps to not just make the gameplay right in front of you good, but, you know, as we look this way now, beyond the trees, we've got some sort of hill line. It didn't have to be there, did it? And, you know, that's realistically, them tree lines represent the end of the map. But still, when you look behind, there's scenery there to be beheld. That was a good word. How are we doing? Oh, we've got... If we've still got 50% by the end of this, I think this was the biggest pairing of fields. So the next field won't be quite as taxing, and I think we'll just have enough to do that little field on the way back to the yard to top up again. And I think what we'll probably do to break up the thing, I might actually buy a mower and go and mow our grass, because we've been doing a lot of fertilising now. It is getting a little bit gruesome. And when you're doing the same job over and over again, we've got plenty of time in the day. So we're not making hay because we've got stacks of that in the silo. We've got enough hay to feed the sheep for several years, I would imagine. So whack that around. So what I need to check is make sure that these fields are definitely completed. I've missed a few corners on this one, so it may be that I have to go back and get the corners. We're down to 50%, which was roughly where I said we'd be. Just go see if that other one completed. There should be 2 fields completed. Yeah, 91, 93, that looks about right. So we'll collect, and we're up to 48,000. What was the number of the fields that we're going to next? It was 99 and 100. So, and I think we'll start at the far side of this one just because we can. No, just because it's a full length straight then for both of them. It'll be a bit of a bummer if we didn't get both of these in, but I think we're gonna do it. I think we actually will get all 3 fields done. So look at this guy, he's not bothered about going across the field. I suppose when it's grass fields it doesn't matter too much. Right, so get there so we can see what we're doing. Switch it on and off we go. Yep, so we'll do these 3 fields. We'll go shopping, buy ourselves a mower. That will probably take up all the money that we've got for now. And then we'll keep doing contracts so we can buy a baler. We could come to a bit of a risky moment that we can't get the baler because there isn't enough contracts out there. But I think we'll be alright. I think there's going to be a load of sowing. Now that they've been fertilised, I think these are going to get planted. It was really annoying because when I finished the episode last night, there was an absolute shed load of offers for seeding the fields. But when I came off the game and loaded it back up this morning, oh, what have I done? Oh, I forgot what I was doing then, talking away. Let's switch that off a sec, so we're not wasting fertiliser, and that might have just cost us quite dearly there. I forgot to do the second field. Now we might struggle to get that little field in as well, because I forgot to do that. Never mind. So I must remember switch off the fertiliser when I reach this next field, just for that area that we've already done. So obviously the mind's beginning to flag a bit with the amount of fertilising that we've done. You know, we're probably getting on to 30 fields now that we've fertilised. Maybe even more, like I say, I've not been keeping count specifically, but we've practically been doing the whole map. and I'd imagine there may even be more fertilising jobs appear soon. But we're doing it, I say, with our own equipment. The tractor is a leased tractor, so we have decided just to keep that leased tractor for now. We've never owned a tractor on the series so far, and it wasn't just with the idea of leasing a tractor, to be honest. The main idea with it was that we would see if we could go without actually owning a tractor. And we were just going to use tractors from a contract, but when it got to the point where I needed to harvest my fields, and sorry, not harvest, plant my fields, I had to do it that day, and there were no contracts on offer, so we ended up leasing this John Deere, and we've kept it ever since, to be honest. I mean, when I say ever since, I think we've had it about 4 months, and 3 of those months we've barely done anything because all we've had was the animals to keep. So that field is done, so it doesn't matter about the corner that we missed. Right, I want to get that back onto its maximum and get ourselves, let's just do a, close your eyes a minute because this will make you dizzy otherwise. We'll just do that, and then we've just got this corner to do. The farmer will be looking at the tyre tracks on his thing, on his field, and think that an alien UFO has landed there or something. So that is nearly done. Let's bring that down. Any second now. Well, we're going to easily do that field. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So that's done. Switch that off. And just work out a path to... So if I go to the road, turn left, and follow the road down. So the road is directly behind me. Go into the cab view again now. I mean, I have to say, I'm really enjoying this save. This is... I didn't know how it'd go. I just wanted to give a different map, a little bit of a game. I've been doing a series in Erlingrat, which is one of the base game maps, but it's so amazing, the scenery in that one. I mean, it knocks... I think this one's alright, but it knocks it out the park with all the mountains and that. But again, it is a lot of grassland that you're working on. So I am going to make some fields on it eventually when I do get back into that, but I may even move that to a live stream series. At the moment it's been a role play, but it's not too late to change it. I've forgotten where we're going. Have I driven past it? No, just turned completely the wrong way. Take a U-turn. Go back. I didn't hit the fence. I did not hit the fence. Don't you get in my way. I'm turning around. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. That was why I turned the traffic off. Road rage. I was that busy chatting away, I forgot where we were going. So, never mind. It's the only thing with this tractor, it's not overly quick. 26 mile an hour is your top. I had... The first time I leased a tractor, it was a JCB. That cost me about 14 grand to lease, so I didn't keep it for very long. But it was 40 odd mile an hour, top speed, nice powerful tractor. And we need to keep going there. The fields were just done, so we're back where we started. I just turned the wrong way when we got to the end of the road. Not concentrated. I'm a bus driver as well. My sense of direction on this game is terrible. When I do eventually go back to work, I think I'll be struggling to drive on the right side of the road because this particular map, which I've been driving many hours on, will have got me into the habit of being on the wrong side of the road. So let's get ourselves back up there. Oh, this field will be done in seconds. Absolute seconds. Right, so we're nearly done with this one. Close your eyes, else it'll make you dizzy. So we spin it around. And that is a wrap. So switch off the FS22. Complete those jobs. Work out what you're doing. So that's 1, 2. Look at this. A load more fertiliser jobs appearing. Well, we might as well. Look at that 90s there as well. Let's see if there's any more. I'm just going to keep fertilising today by the looks of it. I won't do all of these on stream. But wow, I mean, look at all these. This is ridiculous. Any more? For any more? So you might as well get as many of them as you can, because then you get the clusters. Right. So that's another one right near our yard. So there's loads, absolutely loads. What I'll do is I'll take this back to the yard and fill up, ready for the next load of fertilising, and then we'll go shopping. So we're at 107. If we turn right, we'd be going the wrong way, would we? Oh yeah, so we just need to go to the junction that we're on the corner of and turn right. Yeah. So it's where that car's going, I assume. Woo! Come on, why you stopped? Why did you stop? If you'd have just kept going, we'd have all been alright. Oh, AI drivers. Sort yourself out, man. What are you doing? Oh, who put that lamppost there? It's a good job it's not a faster tractor the way this is going tonight. I can see the sheds. Actually, it brings me great satisfaction to see the silo and the green sheds come into view when I get here. On the left is a field. It looks a bit like grass at the moment, but it is in fact wheat. If I come in the next entrance, this is our grass field with the sheep. The sheep pen does take up quite a lot of the grass field, but I've noticed, I don't know how and why, but my gatepost has gone. That was annoyingly right in the middle of the thing, and it's been gone for a while now, and I don't actually know why. But so we need to open it up so we can fill it. Line it up there. Top it up. I'm doing that deliberately because if we spent all the money on mowing equipment now, because we need a mower and then possibly a windrow as well. But if we spent it all, we'd be struggling to fill this in. So we'll drop that there for the time being, and let's get on to the laptop and get looking at mowers. So, blah, 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 blah. Mowers. Yikes, look at that. That is expensive. So what's the reach overall of that? 10 meters. So 13.1 meters for that. We can't afford that anyway. So I think we're going to have to go for the old faithful ones. So we'll buy that one. Do we just stick with that one for now? Let's see how much a windrow is before we commit to the bigger rear mower, because we can probably get away with just using that one for now if necessary. The windrower on top of that is important. You're at very least going to need that one. Oh, I didn't buy it. I clicked back. That was not clever. Yeah, I think that's the very minimum, the one that you're going to have to go with. So if we buy that one, and we can't quite afford the other one at the moment. No, what am I doing? I've already bought it, haven't I? No, where's it say what you own and what you don't own? I thought it showed you there, but we've got a windrow there, so the equipment's, yeah, it's beginning to stack up now. We've got quite a good range of categories of stuff that we own. Fortunately, with what we just bought now, no, I don't think we can run them both together, can we? But yeah, so we've disconnected from that. So we've got 20,000. We could perhaps sell the honey and see whether selling the honey gets us enough to get the rear mower as well. It's a possibility. So the equipment's appeared at the yard, which is good. Yeah, I think we'll give it a go. Where do we sell it? Let's go and have a look. This is something I've not done yet on this map, so honey. Oh, we've got about 10 grand's worth of honey there. So what? Don't want to show locations yet. We want to see how the price is in comparison to where it could be. I imagine it's not great, but that 10 grand would get us the mower that we need. So it may be worth doing anyway. So where's best? It looks like the farmer's market is the best out of all of them. Show price fluctuations. So actually, we're in a good time to sell. 2053 was it? Yeah. So we're actually above top whack at the moment. So this is a good time to sell. Definitely makes my mind up. So we need to get that trailer out. This is the first time I've used this trailer, apart from transporting a bit of chicken feed. I will have to find where the farmer's market is because I have no idea. And we're about to see my excellent reversing skills. Do not laugh out loud. Actually, that wasn't a bad effort. So that's us hooked up. Get us facing the right way. We'll go around and get those other pallets. I have to be a little bit careful because I can't strap these in, I don't think. Just put that menu up because I don't know if you can auto load pallets on. No is the answer. So, I didn't want to do that. So, I mean, I know it's a little bit cheaty in the thing, but if it was in real life, I'd still put a pallet of honey in this trailer by hand, but it'd just be a few boxes at a time. So drop that one in there. I will straighten these out a bit. It is a bit high for my little legs. So, oh, what did I do? Oh, I brought the chainsaw out. I don't quite know how I did that, but or why. So lift that up. Oh, it hasn't. Oh, I've dropped off. I don't think they're gonna fall out. Let's see if I can just move this one in a bit and it might stand up. Ugh. Somebody's gonna be on here now laughing at my loading capabilities. So let's find where we've got to go and we'll tag the place. Oh, I've just come off where I needed to be. Honey, farmer's market, tag place, back. Oh, right. So the farmer's market is not very visible. Where's the tag? I can't see it. I did tag it, didn't I? Yeah, so where is it? Come on, where are you, farmer's market? Growth, crop types, hotspots. Get rid of them. Don't need to see the animals, the workers, or the contracts at the moment. So, bakery. So it should in theory be highlighted, is that it? Right, okay. So it's very annoying we can't take the fertiliser with us because there's a good bunch of fields up there that need fertilising. We could have killed two birds with one stone. But I'm going to have to, in fact, I just press L just in case. I don't know if it does anything, but let's bring a zoom in a touch so I can just get a little bit more accurate a view of the road. Oh, wrong way. Take it up a touch. So it's basically keeping to this side of the map. Wow, we still have a mega load of fertilising to do. We're 2 hours in. So what I'll probably do is take the honey, mow the grass. Why are you stopped? What would you like me to do? These AI cars, they're useless. Absolutely useless. Just adjusted my pedal on my steering wheel. See, now I can't physically get around because of that lamppost. I just don't understand it. He had all the room and left it to me to do. It's what people do when I'm in my bush, you know, they Who's not that post over? It wasn't me. They stop in tight situations and then say, well, I'm not moving, the bus driver will have to sort it out. And I'm coming along with my 40-foot vehicle, and they've got their little 8-foot vehicle. I just want to check I didn't lose anything then. I just noticed the pallets jump around. I think I did. There's 5 pallets anyway, so we just need to make sure we've got 5 pallets at the end of it. Where are we? Have we missed a turn? Where are we? Oh, I can't see myself because I switched the vehicles off. Alright, so we just got to turn. Well, we can either turn right and go across the fields, which I'm not going to do. We can go to the junction like a good boy and turn right there. But that's where we're heading, somewhere over there. Oh, I can see the beam of light now. So here's the junction. That's the sawmill on our right. One day I will get that wood chopped into small enough pieces to put in a trailer and bring it to the sawmill. At the moment it's just garden decoration in my farm, making it look a bit of a mess, admittedly. So, head for the beam of light. Follow the light. Have we got any traffic round us? We've got a car zooming up. I could set auto drive up on this road system, but something I haven't worked out completely yet, and I have enough Miva trying to get the courseplay to work properly on it. But the one thing I would say is there doesn't seem to be a massive amount of issue in context of. So I think we could practice our reversing, but I'm not going to. We'll go back across the fields that way. So we'll see what that brings in for us. Oh, it's not quite got all of them. Come on. You can sell. It's because they're not flat. I might have to just get out and move them. We can afford the mower now, but this is a. Oh, press the wrong button, and whilst you can probably still see the screen, I can see nothing. So there we go. Bring it across. So that one's sold, and this one's still not selling. But it could be that I need to move the vehicle back. Yep, there we go. I'd say that was straightforward, but it was a bit annoying. So let's go get some mowing done. We do have at the side of this field a pretty good path to run along. Although it looks like all loose brushland, we can drive along the side of it. Half of these fields we've got to come back to, unfortunately, to fertilise. I wish I could have just selected them all at the start. It would have made life a lot easier. I could have done sections of the map. But yeah, it's been pretty hard work. We've been going 2 hours, and this honey is the first break we've had. Whoa, nearly tipped the trailer then. This is the first real break we've had from fertilising, which is not too bad. It's not the end of the world, because it's not like we've been really pushed with the fertilising jobs. It's quite a chill job to do. But I don't know how good a watch it is, to be honest, because it is literally just doing the same things over and over again. So we'll do a bit of mowing just to break the cycle of things, because I've got a bad feeling that the next episode could be a whole lot of baling going on. So we can head back to cab view now we're on the road. We haven't got to worry about things bouncing out the trailer. So I've been keeping this particular trailer in the green sheds, but I think what I might do is drop it in the carport if I've not blocked the way with the stuff, the mower and that I bought. Just because it'll be easy to access it. I think it'll be nearer to the silo, because it is going to be really for feeding the chickens. It's the main reason that I got it. Anytime soon our green shed should come into view. The moment that I love, there it is. The moment that comes into view, it just feels like we're nearly home. I love it, absolutely love it. So we'll go in the far entrance so that I can have a look at the carport and make sure that we can get it in there. So my truck has been dormant for a few months. Unfortunately, we was not having any particular work to do. Look at that piece of grass gives us a perfect line up. I was going to get rid of it, but I think I might keep it just for that. So spin it. Oh, we could be in the cabin spinning it around, actually. Does give me a little bit better a view. So we'll do it nice and slow. Come on, you can do it. It's hitting some bumps. Does have a bit of a curb to get up there, which is not ideal. If anybody thinks this is a bit pathetic and slow, you should be applauding me, because my reversing is terrible with a trailer. I've just never been able to manage it, but we've got that in there. I did have to sort of take my time and make sure that I was going in the right direction. So now we'll get myself so I can see what I'm doing. Get the mower on first, because that is the easiest thing to load first. So come on, you can do it. You can do it when you B&Q it. This is where we find out that I haven't actually got a front loader on it. That would be a disaster. Oh no, it's because I've got a weight on. That's why it's not working. Duh. So pick the weight up. Or has it picked the mower? Oh, it has picked the mower up. But we've got the weight stuck in between. Oh dear. Oh no. There you go, we're out. So, I'll leave the windrow there for now. I forgot we had that weight, even on the farm. So, I just want to check that it is at its prime state for harvesting before we go and do it. Ready to harvest. The yield bonus is 80%. Yeah, I must have something that's making it a little bit more complicated, because even that should be 100% really. But I'll look into that when I get the chance. So, lower the mower. Oh, I've got to unfold it apparently. So we're on. Not quite got to the edge of the road. See if we can see better from in here. I just want to see how Horseplay manages this, just out of interest, with the field having sheep on it. Let's see what it does. So it's that one. Nearest waypoint, because we have already started. We'll do a couple of headlands. Start on the headlands, do it sharp. Field centre. What are the options? Up and down. So, anything else we need to change? I don't think so. So, generate field. Let's have a look. Yeah, it seems to have worked out that there is something there. So, that is good. Where are you going? What are you doing? What? What is going on? Why have you just cut that guy's grass? Well, that went well, didn't it? What the heck? Right. So let's change that to first waypoint. Bring ourselves out of the cab to see what he does now. So it's folded it up. Let's bring... What a clown. What on earth was that trying to do then? I mean, I can see he was obviously like looking to turn around or something, but he's basically cut half of that guy's field. I'm gonna get sued. That is the only thing with Courseplay. I don't know if it's Courseplay on this map or Courseplay in general, but it does seem to be quite glitchy on this particular map. I've just had a thought, so we'll jump out and get out of here. Wait a minute. Is that trailer gonna interrupt things? It might do a little bit. It's on wheels, isn't it? So it'll roll. So we'll roll it out of the way, just so that there's no confusing. I think the tanker is well out off the grass, so that should be okay. Yep, That's fine. In fact, do you know I may put a trailer shed. I don't mind you. I don't think it'll let me put it here. It might do. We'll have a look. But let's get back in here so it looks like we're doing a work. Why is he not going? What is the issue with these flipping cosplay things? So if I put that now to the nearest waypoint. I don't get it. Really do not get it. I watch other people do it and they just load it all up, off they go, happy as Larry, no problem with me. It's gone to a certain point, mowed the grass, turned around and just stopped. No logic to it whatsoever. So we're working on the headway now. The headland, I should say, not the headway. And we'll get that off. This may be some good little footage going towards my sort of hack of the day sort of filming and stuff like that. So we'll give it a good little look around. So it looks like we're actually doing some of the work ourselves. As it stopped. It is taking the mickey. What are you doing? Just get driving. No, I give up with cosplay. It is just useless. Right, so get it so I can see what I'm doing. There's just no reason for him to have stopped. I think it's lowered down and on. Shall I check? Oh, I thought I dismissed you. So V, B. It's going to cost me money and he's done absolutely nothing. So lift it up while I turn it around. Try and do a professional job of it. So I think when I've done a couple of headlands, the actual normal helper from the in-game. Oh, I've switched that off. I don't want to do that. That on. That can disappear. I was going to do 2 headways, but I think 1 will be sufficient. We will have to get, when we've been all the way around, we'll have to get that little bit. So actually, we'll just leave it to the worker. I think he's doing a better job than the cosplay so far. He says, and then he trying to work out what he's doing. So I really hope that we get some seeding jobs to do shortly. Let's go and have a quick look. See if any more contracts have appeared. I've got so many of them to do. There's got to be some sewing jobs coming. There were hundreds of them the other day. I think all these fields I've been fertilising, I think most of them were down to be sown. Look at that guy just watching me work. Well, when I say me, I mean Al. So I've just realised that I can't go and get on with anything while he's doing the mowing. Oh, I'll tell you what I have just realised. What was the reason for selling that honey? I'll tell you what. We have been a right well, I can't blame you lot for this. I have been a right donut. The reason we sold that honey was so that we could get the rear mower. Because that is going to take hours. So, working speed. Oh, I can adjust the working speed. But we don't need to, so we'll leave it as standard. Bye. That must be a mod that I've put on that I don't remember doing. So we need to get you back to the yard. Go and get that mower. That mower will make it a much more palatable job to do. So where is it? There. Done like a pro. So it's got control of that now, so I can unfold that. We'll start from here and do Control and V. That one's gone down. Control and B. So I just need to go back and get that bit. And then it's forward. Look up. This will now hopefully fly through the rest of this job. It's a bit more palatable to do the job yourself when you got the mower on. There we go. Now we're straight down to the bottom. Just coming away from the edge a little bit there. So ultimately this will feed the sheep, but at the moment we don't need it to feed the sheep because we already have plenty of hay, probably enough to feed them for at least a year in that silo. So initially this can get baled. We may have to lease a baler after doing a few fertilising jobs, but I do hope to purchase one, so if we do get enough money we will be purchasing a baler, but that will be for the next live stream maybe, because I have got about 1 million fertilising jobs which I'm going to do. What I'll do tonight is just finish this little bit of mowing, do the smaller field, then we'll windrow it, and then that'll probably do for the live stream. That will be pushing the 3-hour mark I think by then. It will be really late for me. Well, it probably already is really. starting to feel the heat of another late night. I think the earliest I've gone to bed is probably about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, which actually is pretty normal for me in truth, because I usually work the late shift anyway. So actually a late night is not unusual for me. Even when I do go back to work, it will be it's obviously quite undulating this because it's missing little bits. Excuse me, didn't have time to switch off the microphone. Hope that wasn't too loud for you, me coughing. I have drunk all my drink, so the throat was a little bit dry. So try and get this little square out. It's an awkward shape, this Z-shaped field. It would have been so much better if the sheet pen would have just fit in down the bottom there, but it just wouldn't quite go. Quite frustrating, really. Some of these little tufts that we're missing though, is making it so that we're going to have to go around again and again and again. So there we go, that's just that. We'll tie up these loose ends and get that strip down the middle. And then it's just tie up the loose ends at the other end. Managed to miss the bit that I was aiming for. There's one. I'll have to get every last blade of grass, but a complete bale is quite a bit of money for us once it's turned into silage. Unlike when you do the contracts, you have to wait a few months for that, but it definitely is worth the wait once you've done it. I think it more than triples the price of grass, and why wouldn't you want to do that for the sake of a few months waiting? Because it really does pay to get silage. Hello Mike, nice to see you in the chat. It is a single player, I'm afraid, so it's not one that I can bring people in, but it's good to see you on. I hope you are well. Are you a farm sim guy, Mike? It's nice to see that you dropped by anyway. I appreciate you asking. It would have been quite beneficial for me too, for you to come in. I had a load of jobs, but I mean I don't know where you're from, Mike, but this is very late in, well, very early hours of the morning for me, so I will be knocking it on the head within the next sort of 20 minutes or so. But I do appreciate you coming on and asking. So what sort of maps have you been playing on, Mike? So I think that is done now. So what we'll do is we'll head to my next field. And this will be the first time that we've had a chance to mow that one. And then we'll get the windrower to complete the rest. Possibly even off screen. We'll then, next time we're on, which maybe tomorrow night, I might actually be doing a stream with PJ. PJ Agri, I think it's 2025 is numbers. The plan is either Saturday night or Sunday night we are going to do a stream together. So it'd be great to see a few people come along to see what's going on there. I don't think I'll be the only one joining him. But we're going to take on some baling there as well, I believe. I believe that's the challenge for us on his Bally Springs map. And I believe he was telling me the other day that Bally Springs is actually the area where he lives. So he's sort of like working on a map based around his hometown, which is pretty neat. So I don't know where our land starts and finishes here, so might just have to have a quick look at the map. Would hate to be cutting somebody else's grass and them getting the money for it. So let's have a quick look. As you can see, we've got plenty of jobs to be getting on with. All of these are contracts that I've accepted, and we're going to be building them up over the course of time. Most of them I will now do off screen because I've done quite a lot already on screen today. So right, so it was that one that we want. So farmland. So basically we've got the start of the trees, and at the edge of the start of the trees all the way to the road is our land. So let's unfold the mowers. And lower the mowers. Are they going to lower? One's gone down. Two's gone down. Let's have a look where we are in line of the trees. So realistically, it's from that second tree along is our land. And like I say, what I think I'll do with this is I'll bale it all up, turn it into silage. When the silage is ready to be sold, I'll sell it, and this field alone can be used to just chip away at the debt that we have, 200,000. And I think by this time next year we'll probably be clear of that debt just because of the silage off this field. And that'll be real handy. We won't have to worry about that anymore, and all the little residual incomes that we have by that point on the farm will be just like profit that we haven't even physically had to work for. So we may be looking at things like solar panels and the like. I'm just trying to sneak as much as I can of this, because I know when I try and do the baling, it'll say I'm not on my land or something. So, I mean, I could try and mow it all and see whether it lets me take it all, because if it's unowned land, sometimes it does. I think I might do that. On the next pass, I shall extend it to the end and just see what happens. It's letting me mow it, so it might. It's not classing it as a field. I might get away with stealing some grass from somebody. But I'm sure they don't want to have a messy looking area when I've gone and mowed my area and got that nice. So I'm sure they'll appreciate me cutting it for nothing. Just me stealing their bales. I think that's what we'll do. We'll just extend this field now. Up to the line of trees. Yeah, it's not complaining that I'm cutting it. That's something. You need me to cut it anyway, sir, because it's an absolute state. You think you'd look after your house. That actually is a very similar house to what was on our farm before I converted it into a brick house. So can't really see what's coming that way, so we might have a crash. No, we're okay. I could lift my mowers up, but I don't want to, so we'll keep them lowered. Probably make his grass look a little bit unusual there, but never mind. Just hope the windrower can get close enough to these trees to get this bit. And we'll go now that way. Yeah, I hope it lets me steal this grass, because that'll be a couple more bales to the profits, which is always good. Try and get these little bits of mist, and then that is our field marked out, really. I could plough this area and get it reseeded, but I think the time and effort for that at the moment would take out a little bit of the time that it's got to grow in the you know, the best growing period for it. So maybe that's something to do over the winter, is give it a bit of a plough and then put some fresh seed in. Although I better check with that when you can put grass seed in, because that obviously has an impact on when we do it. So there we go, we whack it around. So when we've completed the mowing, if before we go off, I'll just have a quick show around my farm very quickly. That won't take very long, because we are at the very beginnings of it, really. We're literally a year through, but we've turned what was a square plot of land with a house, a rundown house, has become what we can legitimately call a farm. We've managed to purchase 2 fields either side, which on this particular map is quite a feat, because the fields are very expensive. Even the smaller fields are pushing the sort of like 150, 200,000 mark. So we probably own about, I reckon, 8 to 10 acres in total. And with the contract work, we're bringing in plenty of money in the hope that eventually we'll own a lot more than 8 to 10 acres. And we'll be looking at you know, owning a substantial portion of the southern end of this map. That is the challenge, that is what we're going for. And so far we've managed to do it without even owning a tractor. Most of the tractors that we've used, we've borrowed to do contracts and utilise them on the farm. This John Deere that we've got now is really the first lease tractor that we've had, except for there was one day with the seeding when I needed a better tractor, and I hired a JCB Fast Track, which was a really good tractor. And certainly when I've got the financial capacity to do so, that will be an addition to the farm we will definitely be looking at. So we just this little bit of land to grass to do, and that is the mowing done. So our job for the next live stream, which will probably be coming towards the end of this day, will be to windrow, lease a baler, get it baled and wrapped, and put aside for silage. And then it's just a case of waiting for this land and the land near my sheep to grow again before it goes again. And until then, we will be concentrating on contracting work, because until we own our own fields, it's not a lot more we can do. But yeah, so that's the mowing done. I did want to just head over actually towards the road here. I think there was a couple of decent sized little bits that we missed because of the undulating ground. But yeah, this is a nice little portion, but it was very pricey. 75 for a tiny little field. Well, it's not even a field, it's just some grassland. But I believe that we could turn it into a little field that will actually be quite profitable for us. So that is that. But just for now, this little patch is going to pay off our debt. It's just a little bit that will siphon away at the money that is taken off us every month. We'll try and go down the side of the fields because our farm is this way. And just run a quick tour of the farm through the bushes. Here's the chickens, and just behind the chickens you can see the beehive, which is a pretty posh one, but it did cost me an arm and a leg. So let's just park up here quickly, run and big jump. These are the chicks. How are you guys? Oh, he's not very happy. We'll jump over that fence. This is the beehive, 20 grand. What an absolute rip-off. But it is producing a lot of honey, so that I can't complain at. We've basically just paid half of it back with the honey that we've cashed in today. So that is really good. And these sheep, they're going to take a long time to pay themselves back, I would imagine. I can't remember how much we bought the sheep pen for. I'll have to go back and have a look at some point, but yeah, they're going to take a long time to feed themselves back. But we're feeding them for free, so that is the important thing. They're not costing us much to keep. It's just the maintenance on the building, so I don't know why I'm running when I can just zoom back to the tractor like that. So, this is awkward. Please don't tip over into the water. That would not be fun. Oh, I got stuck. I need to get into the cab so I can actually see where I'm driving. This is just me being lazy because I didn't want to drive across my new crop of wheat. Oh, God. So this is the new farmhouse that we've built. That's where we gather the honey straight ahead. And that's my fertiliser spreader and my pickup truck. It's a nice farmyard. The bit where I'm stood now is where the original house was. It was just a house on a plot of land. We've knocked down the house. We built that farmhouse, which is beautiful. Couple of machinery sheds well, carport and machinery shed. We've got a silo over there, and then what we've just mowed. I don't know how long you were on, Mike, before, what you saw, but this was the field we were mowing when you came on to chat to me. So yeah, that's where we're at with that. So I think I'm pretty much done for today. I really appreciate those of you that have come on and said hello and watched the stream. I do appreciate you spending a bit of time with me. For those of you that watch afterwards, I would love it if you would just give us a like, subscribe, and let us know what you think about the progress that the farm is making at the moment. Obviously today we've managed to purchase a small plot of land. We've acquired some equipment to do mowing and windrowing, and we've got a shed load of jobs still to do. But once they're done, hopefully I'll be able to afford a baler as well and a wrapper, and that will mean that we can really start to progress our own money rather than doing our work for other people. Unfortunately, after that, we're going to be looking at baling for other people again, just to raise the funds to buy some more fields. So until then, I'm going to leave it at that and say thank you very much for watching. I'm Stevie C, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.